Hello everyone, it's me, it's Hawk, and this is going to be a Yuletide or Yule themed look. If you are interested in celebrating Yule, learning about Yule, or pagan or Wiccan, or just general witchy holidays, and learning about that sort of thing, or just recreating this look, please keep on watching. And like and subscribe. Hello everyone, it's me, it's Hawk, and I'm going to walk you through briefly the eye portion with the products that I use. So for primer, I use the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas in the shade white, just the regular white shade, and I go in the crease with my Makeup Revolution or I Heart Revolution Tasty Avocado palette with the shades Creamy, Toast, and Seed, and I just kind of blend them out and just mix and mash them until I get a desired blend. And then I go in with a little bit of black from the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Smoky Neutrals, the shade 15, which is the black, and I mix that with Toast and Seed and Creamy until I get a good blend. Then I put in a little bit of the darkest berry shade in the Juvia's Place Berries palette. And I keep going back and forth until I get what I like. And then I cut my crease using the LA Girl concealer, their Pro Concealer, you know, the ones with the brush, in white. That's what I do to cut the crease. And my tips for cutting creases is to apply it on the inner portion of your eye, look up, and so you can see how high it's supposed to go, and then just fill it out, and then blend out the edges with a fluffy brush. That's my best advice for a cut crease. And then what I do is I go in with Malibu from the Lost in Los Angeles palette from BH Cosmetics, and I keep putting that on, and then I put on Rose Gold, which is the highlighter from Becca, rest in peace Becca, and then I go back in with the darkest berry shade, and I just continue blending things out, and then I clean it up. For the eyeliner, actually before the eyeliner, I go in with the LA Girl Dream Glitter Iridescent Liquid Shadow in the shade Iridescent Dream, and I just do that. And then for eyeliner, what I do is make some little lines with the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. It's the one with like the long brush. It's just like the long, thin, skinny brush, and I use that. And then I go over with the ColourPop liquid liner in The Hills, which is their green eyeliner, and I deepen that up with a little bit of Profusion Emeralds palette with the shades Meadow, Juniper, and Fern, and I tried to lighten it up with the Neon palette from Profusion with Logical, but that didn't work. So what I then did is went in with Space Panda from Siva Cosmetics, or Siva Beauty, I mean, and it's just their white liner, and I just go in with that until I'm satisfied. And then I go back over with some of the other shades. And that's basically how I do it, and then I go back over with the black just to redefine the branches. For lashes, I'm using the DY Silk lashes in, it doesn't say, it's 001, it's just the blue packaging. And then for the lower lash line, for my lower lashes, I go in with the ColourPop Left on Red mascara, just for like almost like a holly berry look, even though I have pine branches on my eye for my eyeliner. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this portion of the eye makeup tutorial. I will next go into what I'm using for my face. Alright, so for the face, what I do is mix my original e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer with my Maybelline Dream Urban Cover in the shade 102, not 0102, just 102 Fair Porcelain. That's just my shade. And then for concealer, I go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate in the shade 0.1, or C0.1, and for blush, I go in with a mix of Bora Bora from the e.l.f. Putty Blush, and then the blush stick from Wet n Wild in the shade Peach Bums, and I just blend those together with a stippling brush. And for contour beforehand, I go in with the ABH contour stick in Fawn, before I do the blush, I should say. So I probably should have put that first, but who cares. For the highlighter and blush, so blush, I go in with the Makeup Revolution Sugar and Spice blush palette, their reloaded blush palette, and I go in with the first 4 shades, which is like shimmery red, shimmery pink, a pink, and like a peach. I just mix those for a kind of cold look, so it looks like I went out into the cold. And for bronzer and contour, since this is pretty warmed in tone, I use the Fair Pro Contour Powder from LA Girl. It's the highlight and contour, and I honestly just mix them to get a good bronzy, contoury shade. And for highlighter, I went in with Prismatic Mermaid from Ulta Beauty, and for
highlighter, just to amplify the highlighter, I go in with You Can Be Glistening Highlighter Palette in their shade, just like the white shade that's like on the right lower corner. And that's what I did. And I also redefined some of my pine branches on my eyes because they got lost with the blush. And for lipstick, I went in with Wet n Wild's Cinnamon Spice. And now I get to talk about Yule. Have fun. I will link an article by Learn Religions for those of you who want to learn about or celebrate Yule. This video will only be very brief in discussing Yule. If you want to learn more about it and the practices that go along with it, I suggest you look into that article. So this year, Yule 2021 will begin on Tuesday, December 21st and end on Saturday, January 1st, 2022. Yule is celebrated for 12 days, starting on the winter solstice. During the 12 days of Yule, crops are harvested to make a meal, trees are decorated with pine cones, foliage, and candles, and gifts are exchanged with loved ones. The Yule log is also decorated with candles and berries, which gets placed on an altar. Yule celebrates the winter solstice, the return of the sun, and traditions that stem from a number of different sources. These sources vary from the Roman Saturnalia, Norse practices such as Yule, and the Celtic legend of the battle between the young Oak King and the Holly King. What inspired this look was the Roman Saturnalia tradition of decorating the halls with boughs of greenery, the Norse tradition of Yule of decorating trees, and the common decorations that for general pagan and Wiccan and spiritual practices or people who celebrate Yule. There are common decorations that include sun-themed things, dried hung orange slices, greenery, and of course the pentagram. I thought I'd take different aspects of Yule's decorations and use them to make this look. Also, what I wanted to emulate was like a cold look, like I got out of the cold, and I thought that would be very fitting because, of course, Yule starts on the winter solstice, which tends to be pretty cold for a lot of us, or at least colder. And when we're outside, our cheeks get a little flushed. I also thought I'd do little spots to almost either be snow or potentially even like deer freckles, because there is the horned god and he has deer horns, and I thought just like as a nod to that, I'd do that. And my eyeliner is a kind of like an emulation of like pine needles, because I thought that would be very fitting because at least in my area where I live, we have a lot of pine trees, so I figured that this would be a nice nod to some of the trees that you see more in their fullest during the winter or the Yule season. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative for you guys. This is Hawk signing out. Have a happy Yule.